Every time we travel, or even just when we're living our day-to-day lives in our cities, our choices have this hidden impact. So in this explainer, we're going to dig into how the places we love are being shaped by those choices, and more importantly, how we can go from just being visitors to becoming real change makers. So here's our game plan. First, we're going to unpack the real costs of our travels around the globe. Then we'll dive into what a better path forward, sustainable tourism, actually looks like. From there, we'll get into the incredible power you have as a traveler, see how these same ideas can help us build more ethical cities, and finally, we'll connect it all to the future we're all building together. All right, let's jump right in. We all love that feeling, right? The buzz of a city, the thrill of seeing a new place for the first time. But underneath all that excitement, there are some pretty serious challenges that we kind of need to talk about. And I mean, of course we do. Traveling is one of the best things in life. It just blows your mind wide open, connects you with people you'd never meet otherwise, and totally shifts your perspective on the world. It's this deep human desire to go out and explore. But that desire, it comes with a price tag. And here's where we start to see the scale of that price. Global tourism is responsible for a whopping 8% of all greenhouse gas emissions. Think about that. That's a massive environmental footprint, from our flights to our hotels and everything in between. It's a number that really makes you stop and think about how we're exploring our planet. And, these challenges aren't just environmental. They're deeply social, especially in the cities we call home. In our world, which is urbanizing faster than ever, there's a 1 in 3 chance that a person living in a city lives in a slum. It's a shocking level of inequality existing right next to those shiny city centers and tourist hotspots. This slide really lays out the choice we have in front of us. On one side, you've got conventional tourism, where money often just leaks out of the local community and you get these generic, mass-produced experiences. But on the other side, sustainable tourism actually supports local people, protects the environment, and creates real, authentic connections. So this better path, sustainable tourism, what does that actually mean? It's so much more than just a buzzword. It's a whole different way of thinking about travel, one that can help build a much more positive future. So here's the official definition. The key phrase here is over an infinite period. This isn't about a quick fix. It's about creating a way of traveling that can literally last forever because it's built on protecting the very things, both natural and human, that make travel so amazing in the first place. And this quote, this really gets to the heart of it. This is the human side of that definition. When we travel this way, our trip stops being just about us. It becomes this powerful tool for empowerment. We're not just taking photos and memories. We're actually helping the communities we visit become stronger and more prosperous. And make no mistake, this isn't some fringe idea. The whole concept of sustainable tourism ties directly into the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. We're talking about creating good jobs, making sure we consume responsibly, and protecting our incredible oceans. It's a big deal. Okay, so how do we actually do this? This is the fun part, because it shows just how much power you have. Let's look at 7 simple, but seriously impactful ways your choices as a traveler can make a huge difference. What's so great about this list is how simple and accessible all of this is. Picking a family-owned restaurant over a big chain, staying in a local B&B, hiring a guide who actually grew up there. Every single one of those choices keeps your money and support right there in the local community. Let's just pause on this for a second. It seems like such a small thing, right? Buying a little something to remember your trip. But have you ever really stopped to think about who benefits when you make that purchase? The answer tells you a lot about the kind of impact you're really having. And this slide breaks it down perfectly. Those mass-produced trinkets, the profits often go to a company halfway around the world. But when you buy a beautiful craft directly from a local artisan, you're not just getting a souvenir. You're helping to keep a cultural tradition alive and putting money directly into that artist's pocket. So really, it all comes down to this: making mindful choices. When you do that, you transform yourself from just a tourist into a force for good. Your trip becomes more than a vacation. It becomes this incredible exchange built on mutual respect. Now, let's zoom out a bit, because this way of thinking isn't just for when we're on holiday. It is just as important, if not more so, for the cities we actually live in. So let's see how we can take these same ideas and use them to build better communities right here at home. Our cities are amazing, They're centers of innovation and progress, but they are also ground zero for some of our biggest problems. Inequality is getting worse, and it's creating these deep divides in our communities, threatening the very social fabric that holds everything together. So, what's the playbook for fixing this? Well, the UN Global Compact gives us a fantastic starting point. It's built on these 10 core principles, things like human rights, fair labor, protecting the environment, and fighting corruption. It's basically a powerful blueprint for what an ethical city should be. And what does that look like in real life? It means making sure every single person has access to these basic rights. I mean, look at this list. This isn't about luxury. This is the absolute foundation for a city that is fair, caring, and truly inclusive. And the great news is that cities aren't expected to figure this all out on their own. There are initiatives like the Global Compact Cities program that are actively working with city leaders all over the world, giving them the tools and the guidance to make these ethical principles a reality for their people. Okay, let's bring this all home. We've talked about how our choices as travelers and as citizens can make a real positive impact. Now, let's connect all of these individual actions to the really big picture. This slide, for me, is where it all clicks. Whether you're choosing a local guide on your vacation or you're advocating for better public transit in your hometown, these are not small, isolated actions. They are the fundamental building blocks we need to achieve the world's shared sustainable development goals. It all adds up. And if there's one key takeaway, it's this. Real progress isn't just about shiny new technology or a booming economy. At its very core, it's about building communities that are rooted in care, in justice, and in inclusion, places where every single person has a chance to thrive. So, as we wrap up, I just want to leave you with this thought. Your next trip is a choice. The city you live in is your community. In both of those arenas, you have real power. Your choices matter. So the only question left is, what role will you play?